Hello, welcome to gusmcdoll's Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. In this series, we play through each of the battles in the American Grand Campaign in Close Combat 4, the Battle of the Bulge. We use historical World War II US Army doctrine to plan and conduct each battle. This is the strategic map. It is 0800 hours on December 16, 1944, and the weather is overcast. US forces have no air support, no artillery, and no supply drops. The last battle was on the Siegfried Line between the US 110th Regimental Combat Team from 28th Division and the German Kampfgruppe 901 from the Lehr Division. It was a major American victory. The next battle is at Echternacht between the US 109th Regimental Combat Team of 28th Division and the German 5th Fallschirmjager Division. Echternacht should be used as a breakwater against the German tidal wave flooding the Ardennes. The train station, lumber mill, and the town centre are key objectives for the defence of the town. Keep these secure and hold the road open to Esch so that German formations can't flow west of the town. Echternacht can serve as a vital jump-off point for an attack northward into the German spearhead. On the US side is an American infantry battle group from the 109th Regimental Combat Team, under command of Colonel Rudder. It is slow and reserves are depleted. The first thing to note is that the battle group consists of only 5 squads, none of which are rifle or BAR squads. So it is not so much an understrength company as a platoon with lots of officers. What could possibly go wrong? Other than becoming geographically embarrassed on the way to Echternacht, of course. Anyway, let's rename the squads off-camera for ease of reference. Now, let's review each of the squads. 1-1 is 1st Platoon Headquarters. 2-1 is 2nd Platoon Headquarters. 2-2 is a recon squad. 3-1 is 3rd Platoon Headquarters. 3-2 is a 60mm light mortar. Next, let's look at the map and conduct a commander's estimate of the situation. Our mission is to guard Echternacht. The town of Echternacht in Germany lies on the River Suhr, which wends its way from the east to the south in this sector. The town itself consists of a number of 2-story stone and wooden buildings. The town's first reason for prominence comes from the road network, with roads from the town east into the Reich, north to the Siegfried Line, and west to Esch, as well as roads to the south either side of the river. The town's second reason for prominence is that this road network all comes together at Echternachtbrück, the bridge across the River Suhr. Over the bridge and across the river to the south is a small village in Luxembourg. The largest buildings in the village are a large mill and the mill owner's 3-story house overlooking the bridge. The village otherwise mostly consists of single-story wooden buildings for the mill workers. Beyond the village are wooded hills. Finally, to the east of the town centre is a train station. The railway runs across the river, but the railway bridge was demolished by the resistance and never repaired. Within the town, the buildings limit observation, meaning engagements are likely to be at short range. The exception is along the streets, which make natural fire lanes. The town and village buildings provide excellent concealment and good cover for infantry. The main obstacle is the river, with the choke point at the bridge. Each of the town buildings is also an obstacle, needing to be cleared or bypassed. Because the streets are fire lanes, the longer streets should also be considered obstacles and crossed carefully. The bridge, with the crossroads immediately to the north, is key terrain. The area around the bridge controls movement along the 2 key avenues of approach, from the southeast, through the village and across the bridge, and from the northeast along Main Street to Esch. The Germans might attack from the southeast. They might advance through the woods, then cross the railway into the village south of the river, seizing the bridge. From there, they might push across the river, contain the town to the northeast, then push west to secure the road to Esch. Once they held the key terrain, allowing the movement of follow-on forces, the Germans might take their time clearing the remainder of the town buildings. Alternatively, the Germans might attack from the northeast. They might clear the town building by building to ensure the route is clear for follow-on forces from the outset. Once the town was held, they might push west to Esch. In this case, the Germans might entirely ignore the area south of the river as irrelevant to their plans. They might take the bridge, but only to prevent anything crossing it. In both cases, the bridge and crossroads to the north would be vital to the German plans. Ideally, I would like to construct a classic triangular defense of the town and vital bridge. First platoon would secure the northern part of the town, facing northeast, with a line of fire to the front and a secondary task down the road to the mill. Second platoon would secure the southeastern part of the town, facing east. They would have a line of fire along Main Street and a secondary task across the front of the village to the south. Third platoon would be in depth, centered on the two-story mill near the bridge. They would have a line of fire down the road through the village to the south, and a secondary task along Main Street. This defense would cover both avenues of approach, but weighted to the northeast, and each platoon would provide mutual support to the others. However, I only have 5 understrength squads, so I have to do the best with what I have. Nonetheless, I intend to mount a stubborn defense in place to break up the enemy attack formation and make them vulnerable to counterattack. The crossroads will be the kill zone. The Germans will have to move through this area to get to the road to Esch. The recon squad will occupy a hide in a building off to the left flank, with observation down to the train station. They will provide early warning of the German approach along this avenue. Firing into the killing zone will be 2nd Platoon headquarters at the western end of the crossroads, 1st Platoon headquarters at the mill, and 3rd Platoon headquarters at the mill owner's house. The 60mm light mortar will remain off to a flank in a defilade position on the road to Esch. They will fire on troops in the open to force them to ground in the kill zone. I have made my decision and have placed the squads in position. And so we begin. A Sturmgeschütz. Germans at the train station. Captain Gish, with his squad at the mill, is startled to hear firing suddenly erupt without warning from the northern part of town. The recon team is under MG42 fire. Wozniak is killed. My understrength company has no weapon to defeat the Sturmgeschütz. I will have to accept this and do the best with what I have. German infantry are pushing from the train station. In the centre towards the town centre. And in the north. A full frontal assault. The recon team is holding out, but has been bypassed by infantry and the Sturmgeschütz. The Germans take the town centre.
In position. Lost!
The recon team is lost. Gish decides to unmask the mortar to slow down the advancing Germans. German infantry in the open are too tempting a target.
Feldwebel!
The Americans open up.
Wir sind in der Klemme.
Conserving ammunition!
Nailed him.
People!
Conserving ammunition! Conserving ammunition! We need to pull back! Conserving ammunition!
We surrender!
ammunition! Conserving ammunition! Conserving ammunition!
Einfliegendes Geschoss!
Conserving ammunition! Conserving ammunition! Team redeployed!
Red one!
Firing dies down. If nothing else, the Americans are running out of ammunition
Conserving ammunition!
and targets.
Conserving ammunition! Hit the dirt! Conserving ammunition!
The Germans have taken the town north of the bridge, including the road to Esch, but the Americans retain the bridge and their defensive positions. Major German victory. The battle ended because time ran out. Both sides still control some victory locations. The Germans won the battle because they control a greater number of crucial victory locations than the Americans. The Americans took 10 killed, 1 wounded, and 2 captured. The Germans took 24 killed and 22 wounded. So far, the campaign remains a major American victory. The Grand Campaign has 16 days remaining. Your defense of the Ardennes is progressing better than your historical counterparts. Over the campaign, cumulative American losses are 55 killed in action, 33 wounded in action, 2 tanks, and 6 guns. Cumulative German losses are 121 killed, 103 wounded, 11 tanks, and 6 armoured vehicles. So, what did we learn? In urban combat, streets are sometimes described as fire lanes. This means that defenders can fire along their length. Attackers should therefore be careful moving across streets and, where possible, avoid moving along streets. The battle for Echternacht is a perfect illustration why. The American defensive position allowed for fire down these fire lanes, covering the main approaches to the bridge. And this is where almost all of the combat occurred, with devastating consequences for German infantry caught in the open without cover. This is how an understrength American platoon with no anti-tank weapons successfully defended against a German infantry company with armour. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. And stay tuned for the next episode.